Zach Rasinger. Very much thank you for being here. Once again, we are here for a action-packed land identification and uh, overall profit-finding venture here on the CRE Pro Show. I'm live. I'm Zach Rasinger, and we're going to look at what it looks like right now in the Austin, Texas area for finding land. And this is any of the outlying areas. This is Georgetown. This is Hutto, Elgin, Manor, anything up into Williamson County. And then we're looking all the way down into Kyle, Buda, San Marcos. If you have a favorite of those, give me a shout out. Let me know where you are now, why you're looking at Austin. This is a place to connect with other CRE pros. Commercial real estate is the method of the future. And so if you're looking to invest in commercial real estate, if you're looking to grow your portfolio, if you're looking to identify land in order to develop, this is the show for you. Again, I'm Zach Rasinger, and let's dive in. So I'm going to show you a few of the methods that I use in order to find land, in order to buy, in order to help my clients find what they're looking for. It's necessary to understand the environment. So my number one advice is to reach out to a commercial real estate broker to help you. But if you want to do it on your own, if you want to navigate through this complex world on your own, and many of you do, and you find value in that, then I will give you the tools. I will provide you with the information. And if you decide to reach out, fantastic. If you decide to do it on your own, I'm always a resource, and definitely connect with other CRE pros here on the channel. Reach out in the comments below. Let me know, what do you think? Where is the next big pop going to happen? I'm going to show you some of the heat maps, some of the areas around Austin where my clients are looking right now for on-market deals, off-market deals. The difference between those two is whether it's actually being effectively marketed, what channels it's being marketed on, and how much money is being spent on the marketing in order to get it in front of the most amount of people. That is, as a listing broker, that is our main advantage to you as a landowner, is that we are going to put it on as many channels and in front of as many eyes as possible. And the best way to do that is like a full-on assault, right? You want to be everywhere all the time, omnipresent, and you want to be on the top of people's minds so that when they say, look, I'm out there to buy 30 acres of land with frontage, you're the first parcel that they're thinking about. You're the first listing that they're thinking about. And the way you do that is by advertising, by getting in front of the right people, putting the property out there listed at a price where it will sell. Ultimately, sellers that are actually listing their property for sale, and the differentiation there is, did they price it correctly, and are they willing to pivot? Are they looking to sell it today or within the next 6 months? Land oftentimes is a little bit more difficult than, let's just say, a triple net investment. Triple net investment would be one that's absolute triple net is one that's completely hands off. So you're basically investing in, let's just say, a QSR, and that McDonald's or Burger King or whatever is just pumping out money, but the taxes, insurance, and common area maintenance are paid by the tenant. So it's really a hands-off investment. Whereas if you're looking to do development, that is a whole different game, and does require, in my opinion, it requires a professional or a group of professionals to help guide you along the way. So I am one of those professionals. I'm going to show you some of the tools that I use on a daily basis, and you can tell me or let me know if this is something that maybe there's another tool that you use that is very helpful or you found very helpful. The tools that we're going to use today are Land ID, CoStar, Crexi, Reonomy, Placer. So those are 5 of the key tips, the key tools that we're using on a daily basis to find and identify both on-market and off-market properties. Ultimately, there are going to be a lot of properties that are, let's just say, could be listed but are not. So I have a stable of landowners that say, look, Zach, I would sell my property. I don't want it publicly marketed. I don't want a big sign in front of my property. But if you bring me an offer, I will pay you a commission. And you can decide how you want to split that commission with the buy side if they're represented, or if they're not, we can negotiate that as we come closer. But ultimately, there's on-market, off-market properties, and these are some of the ways that we identify those off-market properties that you may already know where you want to be, but you don't exactly know who owns the property or how to contact them, how to get in front of the right people, how to value the land. That's another thing. So if you see a parcel on a corner, hard corner, let's say, in an area where you think is going to do really well, and based on your both personal experience and then on data, you see the heat map is growing in that area, and you'd like to buy a hard corner to put a gas station on, let's say, or a convenience store. Well, how much should you offer on that land? And that's part of the skill set and the knowledge that I bring. Not only the brokers that are that can help us facilitate that deal in the purchase or the acquisition, but also on the buy side. So when I have a listing, I have, again, a list, a roster of brokers that I work with, have worked with, trust, know, like, and trust. And I know they can get a deal done. I know that they are also trying to help their clients. So just remember that if you're going into something unrepresented, the other side is not looking out for you. They're looking out for their own best interests. And as a broker, I'm looking out for the best interests of my client. But ultimately, we're trying to get a deal done, right? We've got somebody who has land, somebody who wants to sell it, and we have a buyer that's interested in offering a fair price. So what is that fair price? Well, I'll show you how we determine that and how you can determine that for yourself. If you decide to go this route, or if you are a commercial broker, residential, you're thinking about getting into commercial real estate brokerage, or you're just investing in or developing a property, here's how you do it. So let me show you this. This is Land ID, one of the programs that we use fairly frequently to identify a parcel of land that who owns it, and not necessarily on price, but like what does it look like in terms of the parcel, the division. What are the zoning criteria? What are the services that are available to it? What else is around it? Who are the owners that are around a particular parcel? So let me give you a real world application here. I'm going to take a sip out of my CRE Pro course. Hashtag CRE Pro course. This is a commercial real estate course that I teach. It is going to help you if you are a commercial real estate broker, if you are an agent, if you're in residential, or you're looking to get into commercial real estate, or just want to know what we do on a daily basis. The CRE Pro course, you can check it out at the link in the bio below. Okay, so let's look here. Now we're talking again about let's look in a quadrant, which I really like. There's two areas inside of and around Austin that I think are going to just really take off here in the next 5 years. And those are west, let's say west, east, and south along the I-35 corridor. Now, there's probably some other areas, and if you know of those, drop them down in the links below. If you have properties you're trying to sell and you'd like to get some eyes on it, this is a great opportunity to get in front of thousands of people and put your listing out there for somebody to make an offer on it. You may not even have a listing, maybe your property, and you're looking for offers on it to see what the market would generate today. Pricing guidance is how we say it in the business, and by pricing guidance, I mean there's going to be a list price, and then there's going to be a strike price. So sometimes a property is overlisted, right? It's been on the market for a while, as opposed to fluctuating the price all the time. There is the asking price, and then where it may be above, right? Maybe above, maybe below. Where would it most likely trade today in circumstances where, whether it's third-party financed, whether it's seller carry, or whether it's all cash? All of those are going to be very different, and the terms of the offer are also going to matter. How quickly does it close? What kind of contingencies are there? What kind of options, earnest money, and are going to be held in escrow, and at what time are those released? So let's look at, we're going north here. This is Austin. This is North Austin. We're looking at the Manor area, let's say. Manor is how you say this. So the Manor area, you can see a lot of rooftops coming up here. And then if we get further deeper in, we're going to see who owns the property. And then on the left-hand side, we're going to see a base map of the different features on the map. And then when we select on an actual parcel, of course, you could do any of these vintage, topographic, infrared. But let's just look here. This is Shadow Glen Golf Course. And let's just say this is a great corner here. Now, of course, this I believe is going to be a inline center that is owned by or anchored by HEB and Home Depot. But on this corner, right? Let's just say you looked at this X number of years ago and you saw this was going to be a great Hey, we're back up. Let's get the camera back on here.
Hopefully it wasn't muted that whole time. Probably. We'll find out if, in fact, it is available for sale. So I'll throw the CoStar up here. If you have any questions, ask down below. I always answer the questions during the live or afterwards, depending on your question or when you see this. So we're looking at this here. We want to add the feed coming in over here. All right, so now we're looking at, again, we're looking up off of 290 because we want the traction, we want the cars, we want the vehicles per day. So we're gonna go ahead and go back out of this, and we're gonna zoom in again on this area on this map. This is a lot of great information to have, particularly for what else is available for sale, what is sold, what is listed for sale, and again, something like this, right? Great opportunity here. Let's take a look at this. Manor Heights, located just off of 290, located between Elgin and Manor. We've got 74 acres. This is the price we're going to have to call on. Another good reason to use a broker is they've got connections into the listing agents. Listing agents here, Michael Gonzalez. Go ahead and reach out to Michael Gonzalez, find out what the price is. We've got zoning here. So this is in a utility district, right? So most likely not sewer here, but it is part of a PUD. So we've got R1 zoning. If your zoning needs to be changed, you need to account for that when you're making an offer, because it's going to take some time to update and change the zoning should you decide to change it to another type of zoning for a use. Like, let's just say this is for a flex industrial warehouse. We're going to need to update and change the zoning here. We have great access up in the front here. Again, this is the parcel we were looking at. Again, just happens to be that it's available for sale, which is fantastic. So we have the ability to develop up front, put some retail in here, and it looks like there's already some development. Oh, look, there's already some development that's happening or has been planned in this area in the past. So we've got a commercial park here, exactly the right use for this property. Again, doesn't have a lot of frontage, doesn't need a lot of frontage, and in this case, they're not using it for the frontage. It's going to be surrounded by rooftops, which is, look, you can see here, we got 2,200 rooftops directly across the street, elementary school, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of development happening in the back here. Again, a Manor commercial industrial park, a commercial park. So this area looks like it has gone through and been assessed for the development of retail in the front, and again, in the back, we've got some space for industrial, and it just depends, light industrial flex, and it just depends on what the price is going to be here. Let's see if we have any assumptions on price coming in through the. So we have the tax value, the parcels. So this is the tax value here. It will matter somewhat, but ultimately it's going to matter on what the offer is, what the future use is. This is a great opportunity or idea here. It looks like it already has a plan behind it, and they're just waiting for a buyer who's interested in actually implementing the plan, a developer. That could be you. So through this, we would go through, assess this, find out what the asking price is, and then construct an LOI or go directly to a contract. And TAR form contract is most likely to be used unless your buyer has experienced and has an attorney that wants to draft an offer specifically for your client or for the buyer. So this is one way that we look through this, right? Again, you're going to find more if you have access to CoStar, but if you don't, and you're simply looking on, let's just say, LoopNet. LoopNet is the free version free to the consumer version of CoStar, but really a great opportunity to use. I'm going to not sign in so that you can see what it would look like for everybody else. If you don't have access to CoStar, let's look at Manor, Texas, and see whether this group has actually paid to have it listed, and whether you would see this if you're not currently logged into CoStar. So we'll remove the boundary and we'll drill in. This is looking for land for sale, property type, land, and let's see what we've got here. So we drop to an aerial, and again, we're along the 290 corridor between Manor and Elgin. I think this is a great place to invest. It's a great location, and it has a great future use opportunity. So we're looking at here, again, this has a lot of frontage, but the angle is backwards. So we would not want to highlight this property here if we were trying to purchase. Now, maybe these two, this is our firm here, this is Resolute, and they have, there are two listings adjacent to each other that can be combined for an 8.48 acre parcel. But let's look at what else we've got here. So look at this one. This one would be fantastic. So again, it dropped into CoStar, so this isn't available on LoopNet in general, but this would be a great opportunity here for a small C-store gas station, maybe a mini mart, maybe some flex on this. Probably not, though. Let's see what else we have here. We'll pop back up one here. This is a good one here. So you can see how they carved off the corner, and it looks like it's this section to this 0.48 acres. They noticed that by having, so this is more likely to be developed as a flex industrial space because it has some ingress egress here, but they carved off the frontage here for ostensibly a C-store or some type of retail, probably a gas station. So we're looking at here, we've got 10 acres, $299,000 an acre. Maybe what you have to do and what a developer is doing when they're pricing a property is determining what their margin needs to be after construction costs to make it worth their time, energy, and effort to actually go through and develop this. So if we're looking at this, how much flex warehouse can you put on this? And that's going to depend on the civil engineer, and that's again partially what we do, help you connect with the right tradespeople that can tell you whether this is a good location. As he says, location. So yes, in between Manor and Taylor, or Manor and Elgin, I want to show you one more resource here that we use frequently, or two others. One is Placer.ai and one is Reonomy. So if we take this and we want to grab the address here, I'll show you what Reonomy is going to look like. This is another tool I'll use quite frequently. And what it will help you do is determine who owns the property and how can you contact them, because ultimately that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get in touch with the owner of the property so that you can make an offer. And again, the offer will vary based upon your metrics as a buyer. Are you doing it to buy and hold? Are you doing it to buy and develop? If you're doing it to develop, you have an idea of what your exit trajectory needs to be once you have put in the time, energy, and effort in order to get to that next level. So I'm going to show you here. This is Reonomy, another software that we use. I'm going to drop in that address from the previous location. Here we go. And here it picked it up. Good. So we'll take a look at it here. This is what it's going to look like. We're going to zoom in. We're going to find out. So we can see here who owns it, what is it, and how likely, high likelihood to sell. Well, yeah, it's listed. So we're looking at listed property. We can see that other corner parcel, member, the 0.48 acres right here. You see that? It's lining up. And then we've got this section here. What we're really looking at, looks like, is this. Look at how much frontage there is, quite a bit. So what we're trying to do, so it looks like they've actually created, or they're trying to, they haven't yet, but they're going to create a division of this and then sell off the rest of it. So remember, the previous one we looked at was 35 acres, maybe. Or no, sorry, it's 10 acres. 10 acres in the back here and goes directly back off this corner. So same owner, they're looking to divide it. And that's the reason that the previous page we were looking at on LoopNet didn't have a carved off section. So they will subdivide it, but probably is not subdivided as of now, because you can see here that it is currently available for sale, but we're looking at 27 acres, right? So they're going to carve off 10 acres and they're going to leave the remainder for sale. 17 acres to somebody else with the frontage, which is a smart idea, right? Triangular piece right here, 17 acres, probably will fetch close to what they're looking for. I would assume in this case that we're looking probably more likely at a $200,000, maybe not 299, just by my knowledge of this area and what my clients are offering, particularly because it doesn't have the frontage that maybe the carved off piece here does, or this other 17 acres. So we dive deeper in. What else is around here for sale? Who else has a flag lot like this one where, again, frontage doesn't matter in a flex industrial space, and we could offer, this looks like it would trade it last in 2011, so the owner has received considerable appreciation on it, and their likelihood to sell depends on what they're going to do with it. But this would be a property that I would put in front of my clients, 45 acres, just off 290 and in between two growing cities in a region where this is still Travis County. Makes it a little bit tougher to build than maybe Williamson County, but still, it's closer to Austin along 290, and it's between, again, Elgin, Manor, and Taylor. This is down this road here is where Samsung is, in this area right here, and let's flip onto the satellite and see what that last sale node. We can see what else is traded along this area for what. I've got some listings up in this region right here. A little bit further away, closer towards Rice's Crossing and Copeland. But in general, those properties are selling for about $75,000 an acre, and they're primarily, as you can see here, this is this thing here. They're primarily selling for development, for single-family home development. This right here. This is a solar field. So if you have land and you be interested, have a solar developer that would be interested in talking to you about putting solar panels on your property, big business on that for sure. Same thing here. These are the listings I have right here. I've worked on for quite a while, and then we're looking at, again, development coming down from Taylor, and this is the Samsung factory here. So overall, knowledge is key, and having somebody who is dialed in and focused on the industry, doing it every day, and has the contacts, connections, and the relationships to help you achieve your goals. That's what I'm all about. Let me know how I can help you discover your goals, build your flex industrial, and start making some money. I'm Zach Rasinger. Hit me up down below. If you have any questions, reach out. Happy to help. And as always, thank you very much. Andrew just asked me if we can use the 3700 console location. Actually, they already filled in the same one.